Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat and today I'm going to film my most anticipated February book releases. So I have 8 to talk about that were like the top of the list, and then I have about 20 or so honorable mentions, which I will leave down below. So I'm only going to talk about the 8, and without further ado, let's get into it. So out February 1st is Lesser Known Monsters of the 21st Century by Kim Fu, who is a Canadian writer. So this is a short story collection that says the strange is made familiar and the familiar strange. So, but what really got my attention is kind of what are in some of the stories. So a group of children who steal a haunted doll. That's always scary. A runaway bride encounters a sea monster. Yes, please. A vendor sells toy boxes that seemingly control the passage of time. And an insomniac is seduced by the Sandman. Very bizarre and weird, and I'm down to read it. It says, these visions of modern life wrestle with themes of death, technological consequence, guilt, and sexuality, and unmask the contradictions that exist within all of us. So it's been getting great reviews, and I'm really intrigued to read this collection. Number 2 is out February 1st as well. This is The Employees by Olga Ravn, who is a Danish writer. And I heard about this book from Books and Bow. They were talking about it and actually raving, and they recently did a review of it about why it's a really unique sci-fi, and I will leave their review down below so you can check it out if you're interested. This is a very short Danish sci-fi novel that is chronicling the fate of people on this spaceship. So it's comprised of human and humanoid crew, and they just talk about their daily tasks. It's told in report and memo style, like very epistolary, but from multiple points of view. And it takes on a number of strange objects from a new planet, and the crew all becomes like obsessed with these objects. And it says it's chilling, crackling, exhilarating, and foreboding. So I just think it sounds interesting, and it was on my radar, and the reason it bumped to the top of the list was because Books and Bow really liked it, and I really highly regard all the translations that they read. So also the cover's amazing. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check that out when it comes out. Third up is out February 8th. This is The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Gran, who is an American writer. So this one I went back and forth on for a long time, but it just sounds so weird. Like the premise just sounds so weird that I couldn't get it out of my head. So it says, after a tragedy too painful to bear, former novelist Lily has resigned herself to a dull, sexless life as a rare book dealer. That is, until she gets a lead on a book that might just turn everything around. The Book of the Most Precious Substance is a 17th century manual on sex magic. That's right, I said sex magic. Rumored to be the most powerful occult book ever written, if it really exists at all. And some of the wealthiest people in the world are willing to pay Lily a fortune to find it if she can. So it follows her on trying to find this magical sex magic book. And I just think it sounds absolutely wonderful and fantastic. It's part like her traveling, part like treasure hunt, and part this person, I think, exploring their sexuality. So yeah, I think it sounds really good and really fascinating. Very interesting premise. Number 4 is the first YA book on this list, and it's out February 15th. This is Bitter by Akwaeke Emezi, who is a Nigerian non-binary author. And I just want to mention Bitter is the prequel to Pet, which I really loved. So if you haven't seen, Pet is in my top 10 of last year. I will leave the link down for that below. Yeah, so I really loved Pet, and Bitter is following Pet Jam's the daughter in the second book, Mother, named Bitter. So she is a painter, and it follows her in this special school where she can focus on her painting, surrounded by other creative teens. However, outside of this school, the streets are filled with protests against injustice and the monsters that are lurking on the city streets. So if you have read Pet, you'll know kind of something happened in the past that eliminated all monsters, and I'm so glad that we're gonna see what has happened, because I think that this is the book where all the action goes down. So I'm highly anticipating this, and I think I'm going to absolutely love it. All right, next up is out February 17th. This is Parallel Hells by Leon Craig. So this is again a short story collection. So I used to not read short story collections, but then last year was the year of amazing short story collections. So yeah, I'm just really open to them because last year I had so many great ones. So Parallel Hells draws on folklore and gothic horror that imagines queer identity, love, power, and the complicated nature of being human. So it says there's 13, of course, darkly audacious tales. So we meet a golem made of clay, a ruined mansion which grants secret wishes to revelers, and a notorious murderer who discovers that her Viking husband is not what he seems at all. There's an ancient being who feasts on the shame of Londoners, an Oxford historian who's in competition with other faculty members and discovers an ancient tomb which has sinister contents. There's a satanic mass, and there's a lethal curse involving two lovers. It just sounds excellent. I also love, love, love the cover. Sometimes less is more, and that's definitely the vibes that this cover is giving me. It looks creepy, it looks wonderful, and I can't wait to read it. Also out the same day is the Leviathan by Rosie Andrews. Preface, okay? I don't really read historical. If you've been following my channel for a while, like, you would know this. It's not really my cup of tea. However, when it involves the ocean, okay, I'm hooked. So we're in Norfolk, 1643. There's the Civil War tearing England apart, and the soldier Thomas Treadwater is summoned home by his sister, who has accused one of the servants of improper conduct with her widowed father. By the time the soldier returns home, his father is insensible, felled by a stroke, and their new servant is in prison, facing charges of witchcraft. So the soldier thinks that he is a rational man, and he's going to unravel the mystery of what has happened. However, he uncovers not the tale of superstition, but something dark and ancient linked to a shipwreck years before. Something has awoken, and now it will not rest. So I'm really hoping that, like, the young maid is possessed by a Leviathan demon. That would be banana sandwich and absolutely amazing. I'm really hoping it's that. I'm really hoping for Leviathan possession because, one, I've never read anything like it, and two, yeah, I just really like possession stories, and if it's a sea creature possession, I don't think I've ever read that before. No, I don't think so. Not one time. Yeah, so even though I don't usually read historical, if this features a sea creature possession, like demonic possession, yeah, take my money. Take my money. All right. The penultimate book I want to talk about today is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker-Martin, who is a trans woman writing about trans women in the story. So this is a dystopia where we're following trans women and men on a grotesque journey of survival. So Beth and Fran spend their days traveling the ravaged New England coast, hunting feral men and harvesting their organs in a gruesome effort to ensure they'll never face the same fate. Robbie lives by his gun and one hard-learned motto: other people aren't safe. After a brutal accident entwines the three of them, this found family of survivors must navigate murderous turfs, a sociopathic billionaire bunker brat, and awkward relationship dynamics, all while outrunning packs of feral men and their own demons. I have been so excited about this book. I have it from NetGalley. I've been waiting to read it for February so I can get the review out on time. I'm so freaking ready. It says it is a timely, powerful response to every gender-based apocalypse story that failed to consider the existence of transgender and non-binary people, from a new, powerful, new, own voices author in horror. It sounds so freaking good. I'm so excited to read it, and also I love the cover. It's very funny. It's very tongue-in-cheek. And the last one I want to bring to your attention is also out February 22nd, and it is the other YA on this list. This is Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. So again, I'm not really huge on YA anymore. I think I've outgrown it, but this one just sounded too good to pass up. So it says, it should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historic house. When her super cute coworker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything is going to fall perfectly into place. However, she soon learns the truth. Her family aren't just eccentric, they're monsters, literally, with terrifying hidden powers. And Nick isn't a cute boy, he's a legendary monster slayer who will do anything to hunt them down and kill them. As she battles Nick, Joan is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Erin, heir to a monster family that hates her own. She'll have to embrace her own monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family. Because in this story, she is not the hero, she's the monster. It sounds so freaking good. I love when like the female main characters have like monster powers or are monsters. I love it so much. And it's shelved as paranormal, urban fantasy, and horror monsters. And she is also an Australian author. I don't think I mentioned that. So I think that this just sounds absolutely fabulous. Those are all the books in February that I really, really, really wanted to bring your attention to. And like I said, there are a bunch more honorable mentions down below, which caught my attention, but I don't need to give you all the details because you can check them out if you want. So without further ado, I'm gonna go because I very sneakily have filmed this while my daughter is napping and I have enough time to eat lunch before she wakes up. Yay! Any parents out there who are home with their kids and trying to do stuff during their naps, I'm very proud of myself today because I just filmed 2 booktube videos during her nap, have extra time, and I'm gonna go eat something. So yeah, lots of love, talk to you later, bye!